Let me welcome you to my channel. Before we begin the video, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe and like this post. Despite the challenges she has faced, Liv Morgan has solidified her position as one of the most prominent talents in WWE. Statistically, she possesses the highest online interactions during the previous, behind Rhea Ripley and Roman Reigns by 1 year, following her triumphant return to the stage early in the year 2024. Nobody can deny that Liv Morgan, because she has grown into one of the most terrifying but entertaining, wearing high heels if a new study is to be. It appears that Morgan has also increased. She's killing it on social media. Read up on social media analytics first. Business analyze Liv's data and different current WWE elites in the field of mass communication. Calendar for the months of April through August 2024, with Morgan trailing only the Roman Empire, 26,71,188 units, 72, and Rhea Ripley, 7,119, 767, with 515 and 20,346,000, respectively. Her popularity on social media appears to be even more outstanding given the circumstances. Morgan earned a cool more than 8 million engagements compared to, when it comes to those, Cody admires her posts. Curious about the interactions on social media, Metric considers the quantity of feedback, social media engagement, and reactions. Liv Morgan ranks among the top 2 well-known female wrestler engaged in a fierce fight for supremacy. There's no way Morgan's 2024 accomplishments will be cast doubt on. Rhea Ripley remains WWE's #1. The abilities of women, while other well-known figures like Becky Lynch, with Charlotte Flair, Ripley for a while, time spent recovering from an injury as she made her way back to the ring at shocking SummerSlam 2024. Mother endured Dominic's treachery. The Mysterian, who planted a passionate kiss on Liv Morgan's lips and started an emerging love. The plot: the majority of Liv Morgan's due of her animosity toward Rhea Ripley, according to the data, is currently the second highest-ranking female athlete. The Women's World Championship is also held by Morgan, while Unclean Dom accompanies her despite confronting the priest Damien. Rhea Ripley, and often referred to as the Fear Twins, seems like quite a challenge. Regardless, the new on-screen, the partner is attempting to remove everything on Ripley, including her recordings in the department of social media. Liv Morgan is a prominent figure who has reliably achieved the WWE Universe's emotions were taken aback. During the filming of a current episode of Masked Brawl, the program was bustling with the customary buzz, technicians rushing before the show, wrestlers getting ready for competition, with creators completing last-minute tasks. Information, but Liv was consumed with her own. Her thoughts were racing as she absorbed the news. She was recently given her recent experience, warned that all she did was follow Roman Reigns and Rhea Ripley star in a breathtaking figure among currently competing WWE. It was a number that solidified stars. The key role she plays in. We provide here today a figure that was enthralling and intimidating. The news released a surge of enthusiasm coursing through her, but with an awareness of duty for which she had battled valiantly to make a name for herself in WWE by conquering hurdle to hurdle in order to arrive at the moment when her name was brought up, simultaneously with Roman Reigns. Both of these famous people have Rhea Ripley controlled the corporation during their conflicts ruled that unstoppable. He had been the Universal Champion for some time, on for more than 3 years, as Rhea Ripley has become into an unstoppable force on Raw, reigning supreme in the women's division under Lee. As the roar of the audience resounded in the arena, its distant echoes barely audible, her memory flooded with the events leading up to her beginnings in the WWE was everything but simple, underappreciated, written off as another pleasant appearance, and frequently neglected. Yet Liv possessed an unyielding resilience that propelled her to demonstrate everyone was mistaken about her voyage. Through a regimen of relentless exercise, spent hours upon hours analyzing match replays, with an unwavering self-confidence, she partnered with companies like Ruby Riot before, brought together the Riot Squad, and thereafter discovered herself confronted with a terrifying, difficult task of distinguishing oneself in packed to the gills. But Liv had climbed, in relation to the event she had fought, ascending the ladder to better success, her abilities, and triumphing in the WWE cosmic force, fueled by her passionate heart and keep fighting. Her mentality, her attitude, and her wealth within the financial institution triumph a career-altering time that highlighted people's decisiveness, selling the briefcase, as she had Ronda pinned that same night, Rousey to be crowned SmackDown Women's Champion, a memorable moment that left an impression on her reputation into WWE lore. But the triumphs weren't the only things that had sent her to this location. Her link, thanks to her talent for captivating her audience, have faith in her underdog tale, and her perseverance when confronted with challenges. After waking up from her RY, Lee shook herself off. Audible whisper from behind her, she spun around to see, with an astute grin, Rhea Ripley draws near. Across her cheeks, when it came to Rhea's esteem for persistence of Liv, regardless of whether they were on, incongruous with one another beyond. Liv, Rhea once exclaimed, "Congratulations." A borderline Australian accent slicing, "You've worked hard for it, and now you're going to get your due in return." Lee grinned, appreciative of the kind comments. "Thanks, Rhea. Hearing that from you, Rhea, is really meaningful." Nodded, her face gradually warming. "Little, but keep in mind that the more you ascend, more individuals will desire, not to bring you low, but something tells me you're more than capable of handling it." Then Liv gave a little nod. Being able to decipher Rhea's statements, the light was now more intensely focused on them. Was hoping for more, but had never failed to rise to the task in the past. And at this moment, Rhea was not going to begin. Turned around and left to Roman. Liv's thoughts turned. At the top of the tribe is the chief, who, upon which Roman had stood unrivaled, to compel a monarch whose reign revives. Headway in WWE being brought about in the same breath as him wasn't recognition, but it also highlighted her situation's seriousness, originally from constantly threatened target opponents vying for his crown. For Liv, the impending arrival of a comparable region where her achievements have created, she would have to carry the target on her back, face the difficulties that are sure to come, things that would happen to her later that night. Watching her shoes, Lee sat in the locker room. Wearing her boots, she got ready for her match against. Numbers were still in her mind. Upon further examination, however, it had transformed from a mere numerical value into a constant reminder of her progress, and still lay ahead of her when Liv was standing in her own way any longer. She was in a race to win over every supporter who had, all the girls who looked up to her as a source of motivation, and for the heritage she was hoping to abandon. As she entered the arena, the audience broke out in muchos jubilo. The tone was intense, and Liv experienced its euphoric surge, which propelled her. With resolve, she walked to the keep her gaze fixed on her rival for. That fateful evening, Liv set off, went headfirst into the contest. Every action carried out with exactitude proved that her efforts were worthwhile, and commitment during the game lives. I couldn't stop thinking about the statistic. Wasn't it simply about following in the wake of Rhea Ripley and Roman Reigns in a feud? Being in that position was crucial to rating. Companionship at all had signified her arrival as a result of her efforts, and that she came to be acknowledged as a real danger in the WrestleMania status quo. But Liv was aware that only the first step toward firmly establishing her. She had to persevere in her pursuit of legacy, persist in developing and demonstrating. Every match, she proved why she belonged at the top. It seemed like every advertisement was chance for her to showcase her